Yeah, that is a good song. Okay, so welcome back to another live. I don't think I posted it. I just kind of posted it on Twitter and to my Facebook. I didn't go around in my big circle that I normally do. Probably should have, I guess. Don't really care. So anyways, there was nothing that I found, and other people I know were trying too. There's nothing I could find to do with that home invasion. So I don't know if it was a home invasion that didn't make the news, or it's kind of hard because you're trying to look for something. And of course, Rachel Morin stuff is all coming up right now. Try to go to the local news. I literally spent 5 minutes going, go to March. And I didn't see anything in kind of like the local news. So yeah, it is a catchy tune. Hi, Jerry. Hi, guys. Let's see, Outback. We got Ben, Outback. It's kind of a shame. Let's see here. Streamlabs is in the house. All 11 of you. Anyways, you guys can have special treatment. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So I'll just play this. Might as well is this the one that how long is this? Well, whichever. I'll just play this one here. But, so after I realized I couldn't find nothing, and Charmaine, you said you were going to bed, naughty girl. Not naughty girl, but okay. But anyways, after playing with this video, well, it's going to suck for them. So unless someone, because this is national now, and because the video's out there, so this video was probably not put out to the public perhaps already. And so maybe a lot of people hadn't seen it, but now that they will, either way, it's definitely going to get splattered all across the internet. So that's right here. This is on us. I did a freeze frame right there. Let's just go back to that for a second here. Come on, freeze frame. So that's a freeze frame. Really, that is going to be your best picture. And this is in 4K quality. Okay. So I uploaded it in 4K to give it the best. No, he's not. I'll tell you, you know what? I'll show you why actually he's not, because he does look it. But here, let me just hit present share screen, because I'll show you why. You see this guy right here, right? Look at his snows as well. So this is a guy, an individual in Los Angeles or whatever. We want to see this guy all over Facebook. This is back in 2018, December 26th. So once I kind of looked at this guy, typical chain, the long nose like the other guy had. This guy's, fatter. This guy's got a freaking a beer six pack is what he has. Same type of haircut a little bit, to be honest with you. Anyways, so I believe he is Hispanic, like they said. Hi, True Crime Housewife. So, yeah, so I get it because I thought kind of as well, and because of the nose. But anyways, nah, I'm gonna deem him as Hispanic, like they've said. And the thing is that what we do know is, hold on. Oh, right, that's because I don't have the video add to stream. Let's go back. Oh, there we go. Um, what we do know is whose ever home this is. One, why don't we see a camera of him coming into the house? So was this perpetrator in the house already? Did he come in through a back way instead? And they don't have a camera on the backside? Clearly, there's somebody shutting a door, but that doesn't mean that they're just nonchalantly shutting the door. But, you know, um, it seems strange. Like, okay, there has to be like they would have talked to them. What does the guy look like? Then they would have said Hispanic. Let's just actually come back over to here again, and let's bring in the actual. I'll bring in this one. Okay. So they've done it in both Spanish and English, and okay, that's not good quality when I bring that one in, just because there's two of them. Um, are you my English one here? Okay, that's better. Okay, so the Hartford County Sheriff's Office is requesting the assistance in identifying the below depicted individual in relation to the homicide of Rachel Hannah Morin, which occurred on August 5th. Obviously, we know that. Well, let's just get to this. The unknown male is described as being approximately 5'9", and Adam said, "Yeah, that's about right," because he was kind of looking at the door and himself as well. And Adam will be here just shortly. 160 pounds, 20 to 30 years of age, dark hair, muscular build, and is believed to be of Hispanic descent. Well, I'm pretty sure that looks like a phone, to be honest with you. That's in his pocket there. That looks like a cell phone. Let's hold on. I think I grabbed another picture. Um, was it this one? Yeah. The more I bring it in, the worse it's going to get. Whatever it is, I'm not like, you know what the thing is that when I look at this thing, it looks like a flip phone. Either way. And that's not black, that's just white, that's just the shadow casting. He totally had on running shoes. These are the running shoes right there. Like, meaning he didn't have running shoes on his feet. He was absolutely wearing socks. So those are definitely running shoes. Um, you know, I feel horrible, because I couldn't sit there and go, well, he has 20 moles on his back. If he was so sorry if somebody had SCX with him, perhaps he had 20 moles. No, I think I've seen one. One. I mean, just in the one, only because there was one that kind of popped out of the middle of his back a little bit, and it might not have been. It's not a good enough quality to even say if it is or not. But guy got no tats that we can see. So really, it's just a matter of someone being able to recognize these elf ears that he got going on. They remind me of like Spock ears. Yeah. Well, that's just it. They're all, this is how I'm taking it. So what they said was that they matched the DNA from that case there, and because obviously in CODIS, there was DNA from that crime scene, and they hit a match when they entered that, but he had not been publicly identified. That one kind of confused me, you know, just because I'm like, okay, so if you got a DNA match there, and it identified the person, but not publicly, what happened? I'm like, so I think it's one of those things is that the police are willing to share what they want to share with you with regards to the video of what we're looking at here. Um, so I'm just confused, because if they say that, well, we got the DNA from we put the DNA into CODIS, right? Which came back as a hit for the home invasion assault on the 11-year-old here. So if they got a hit, was it only a partial hit? All they need to do is send it to 23andMe, and I'm sure some family member has done one of those. And like, guarantee you, if somebody hasn't identified, I feel, I hope, just feel like he's going to be apprehended in a very short period of time. And just like another barber said, just like Adam said, like that haircut then is new. So hopefully someone can identify Spock ears, big nostrils, and that haircut and that body shape and go, you know what I mean? If you think it looks like somebody that if there's no issue with them, but make sure that you report them. Who's ever watching this video across the world, well, probably not the world's gonna, of course, but you know what I'm saying? It's just about bringing awareness, because you never know what true crime channel, like where all their subscribers are from. Could be a lot of them in Los Angeles. So I don't know, but this one actually, I feel like N. Wirecombe, possible minor, answered the door, and he pushed his way back, or pushed his way in. Something yellow in his pocket. I don't know about the yellow part, but in his flashlight could have been broken without someone without some of his clothes on. Like he was quick to get out of there. Anyone that has their shirt off and their shoes in their hand, that's just weird, right? Like the shoes in the hand. It's weird, because you would just think that he would be like racing out the door. So makes you wonder, like, did he say something like, "You better not call the police"? It's weird. It is weird. It is weird. Um, so let's see. Let's just see what you guys are saying here. They must have the video of the suspect entering the home. Well, that's what I'm thinking, Kelly. But that doesn't mean he necessarily entered that way. Um, what I do feel is a strange about this as well. Not strange, but um, let me go back to the video. Add to stream. Okay, so notice that he turns. He's going to turn right. Okay, he's turning right. Now, you see how this vehicle is here? And then there's the gate around it. So either that's the vehicle of the home. No, it couldn't be. It has to be that the parking is from the other side. Like it must be in the back or something. Okay, Aspen. Do you know? Because look it, there's you guys can see it. Hold on. I mean, you guys can see that, right? Like there's a freaking gate thing, a fence that goes along the front there. That's so weird. Who sticks a barbecue out in their front yard? Do you guys do that? Stick a barbecue out in your front yard? There's a barbecue right there, right where those purple flowers are. But anyway, so this vehicle, I'm sure it's not one of those places where, here, let me just stop and open up my little gate here. It's probably running along the side of the house. But so the opening must be to where he went. I'm amazed. Doesn't it seem odd to you though? Because why would you go out the front door? That's the especially the spot of being seen. So I guess if there's a fence, well, no, because it doesn't make sense. If there's a parking spot there, that would mean that they drive out this way. Just trying to talk and think here. Go out this way. So why would he go out the front door? You could just go out the back way because you always know that there's going to be a gate there or something. Like, why would you risk? Did he have a vehicle? Was his vehicle out front that way? Okay, who's messaging me? Aspen. Oh, who's that irritating man? Aspen Connor. Let's see, what has he got? Um, oh, you're showing me the same thing. I think you're just showing me the same thing, right? You must be listening and taking pictures. So, because the shot that I'm showing is right here that he was showing me. Hold on, let me just come back to you guys. Let me come back to you guys. I agree. This person must have known the ring doorbell was there. Right. I mean, he totally comes out, like, I mean, shoes off. To me, he totally knew that camera was there. That's what I mean. Like you can see the houses right there. It's not like it's a back alley. It's other houses right there. His vehicle probably was parked. His vehicle was probably parked somewhere around there. It's not making. Okay, the clip that they showed us is just weird. First, this person that was invaded would have. There should be a sketch. So, and I can't seem to find it, and a lot of people have looked yet so far. Um, right, he could have broke into the house, and the girl pretended she liked him, so that he wouldn't hurt her. And maybe he like said he didn't. I mean, that he didn't come up, that way. But like normally people like go the same way that they came. So why wouldn't you use the backside? Well, I guess not. Well, no, because if you came up to somebody's house and and let's say you're not inside of it, you're gonna knock on the door pretending you're some sort of delivery person, blah blah blah. Why is all those things coming up at the same time? Freaking 20 things. Anyway, let me see what your brilliant minds over there are thinking. Okay. From looking at the door, it doesn't look like 4th century. Guess I should just play this still. Might as well keep it playing, eh? Um, Maybe he is just a suspect at this point or a family member of the. No, no, no. The DNA matched. The DNA matched. So this is the guy here. The DNA matched to this crime here. So if the DNA matched from Rachel Morin and the DNA matches from this guy, they would have to have the right guy. Yeah. Might not have a backyard. Well, the car's got to get out some way. Sure, it's not going to go through that gate that's right there. There's nothing that's showing that's like, here, let me just get out every morning and open up a gate. Maybe, but I don't think so. There has to be video of him. Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily, really. I mean, like I said, if he came in, if there, every house is going to have like a side door, back door to it. You're going to have a sliding glass. You're going to have something. Every house will have a fence. Not all might have gates, but most people will typically have a gate. I just can't like it just rubs you as weird, right? So it's one of those things to me that the police just gave us what they wanted to give us, that little part of it. I don't know. I feel like there's going to be an arrest soon. I feel like it's just a matter of time. I'm pretty sure if they stick that DNA to 23 in me, it'd be like boom. Then they just sit there and go, okay, well, let's see, cousin, it's not you. You might have entered the house from a door window. Just what a POS. He doesn't have anything visibly covering his face, so I don't understand why it isn't at least a sketch. Right. And so, like I said, so there's something about that. Maybe like it just really, I guess, depends how the police in LA handled the case, because I mean, unless a sleuth somehow, finds a record of someone that was reported, but this is if it's to do with a minor, you're not going to really have access to it. Um, it might not even be out there in the news, but just a report was done and they had the camera footage. And like, there's no reason why they wouldn't give us better camera footage if they didn't have it. One would think that would make logical sense. You wouldn't think that the police would go, here's a picture of his half face. Tomorrow we'll do another press conference and we'll be like, you know, this is the guy. Thank God this little girl is still alive. Absolutely. It makes you wonder how many other um, attacks, any other homicides that this could have happened to, right? I mean, it was March for the girl, and he was in LA, and then it's like August, and then he's in Maryland, and doing this. So, did he do something in between? Did he do something before? Like these people. The minute you're caught, dude, you might as well just freaking jump off a bridge right now, buddy. Because when you're caught, like, enjoy prison life for a long, long time. Like, why would somebody, like, I just don't get how people just toss their lives away, especially at those ages, like, just tossed your whole life away. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay, if he entered from another part of the house and this was just a random act, and that means that he would know that camera is there, you know. Hmm. Yeah. I mean, to me, it looks like he knows that the camera's there. Um, well, I believe it was an essay. Um, you know, um, I think eventually they will, Emily. Because if this was an essay, chances are that Rachel's was an essay as well. I don't think it was just an attack. It would have been an attack for a purpose. I think that there's a difference between controlling an 11-year-old though versus an adult that's physically fit and does runs. Like maybe she gave him a little bit of run for his money, but again, his strength overpowered. I think that the police just gave us that info to mail the suspect believe that they aren't on to him, so be caught off guard when he actually got. I think that the police just gave us that info. I'm not sure which info you're referring to be honest with you. Uh, Third live today. Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, you're muted, though. There you go. No, no, turn.
Hey,
Yeah, there you go. On there. Adam.
yeah,
Oh, why am I had my volume really down. Was I coming in low? I wasn't sure. I had my volume right down to
you're
like
normal
40.
to me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I hear an
Adam,
echo.
I don't hear an echo at all. Do you guys hear an echo? Just go back out and come back in.
Is there an echo? Echo? No, I don't
I
hear
don't
an
hear
echo.
an echo. Okay, okay. Um, I'm if they said, and this is because I remember listening to Court TV on their when I was listening to the press conference again. If they said, so they put the DNA into CODIS,
Yeah,
and obviously there was DNA from this crime put into the system as well,
right.
and then they say that it's a match, but he hasn't publicly been identified. That's what the words were,
Right.
but he hasn't.
Yeah, which means his DNA is not in CODIS.
What do you mean?
Meaning, his identifying DNA is not in CODIS. Which I mean, basically means he's probably not been arrested for a felony before. Like I said, like the unidentified male in the John Bonet case, they entered that into CODIS. So that DNA is in CODIS.
Okay. I
But
gotcha.
they
So
can't match it to anyone.
Okay. That makes sense. I'm sitting here going, but it matched. Like, but you're right. If he hasn't been arrested for anything, obviously they got the DNA in there, but they don't have this. Gotcha.
And they don't take DNA, and they wouldn't take a DNA sample for every, So if he got arrested for, like, let's say a DUI or something like that's a misdemeanor, his DNA probably wouldn't be in CODIS. It would have to be probably a felony or a violent offense.
Yeah.
Right. And to me, I'm like, I'm the most interested in what type of DNA it is, because.
Well, what did they say about the DNA?
They didn't give it. They said, they aren't going to give out those details because they know that only they and the perpetrator know the details of the crime scene.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious though that it's an essay.
That's my theory. But
I mean, if
it's not something we'd heard up until now. So
no, exactly. So if he comes in here,
we had heard that she was nude, but that's not been confirmed.
No, but what's the chances that he's gonna a young one there, and then he's gonna not do it to Rachel? Probably. I'm gonna call essay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it. Yeah. So, like I was saying, I personally didn't find anything. Other people were looking. Hopefully, we have some better sleuths than ourselves in a shorter piece. I mean, it's hard. We only did it in a couple hours. But do you think that this case was even put out to the news media at all?
The Los Angeles case, I doubt the Los Angeles case was. I think we would have at least already seen a news clip of it if it had been put out on the media.
I was thinking that maybe it didn't hit the news, but the police were called. But usually the scanners are always going, right?
Yeah, but it's Los Angeles. You have to think about like the magnitude of cases that happen every day in Los Angeles. It's not like Delphi or somewhere, in a rural area where you can listen to a scanner and pick up on things. I mean, Los Angeles County is the second biggest city in the country.
I could be totally ignorant here, and I'm sorry that I suck at nationalities. Isn't Hispanic meaning Spanish, Mexican, or is that two different things?
I mean, it can be two different things, but I mean, they're usually they're kind of hand in hand.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
Spanish
in California,
someone from Spain, but Hispanic can be anyone from a Hispanic country, meaning Mexico.
Okay.
Spain, anywhere.
Yeah, like honestly, you guys, we don't have a lot of we do have Hispanics, don't get me wrong, wherever they're from, Mexico, wherever, but it's not like when you go to California and they're everywhere because they come up from the borders and you guys we don't have them like you guys do, like the Hispanics or Mexicans and whatever. I mean, I've met a few in my life, but it's not typically up here. You'll see Asian, white Asian, Muslim, whatever. And then here and there, you know what I mean? It's not like when I went to Disneyland and there was a lot of, I don't know even if they're called Mexicans over there, or I would just say Hispanics, when I went to Disneyland. So that's why to me, I'm like, wait, isn't Hispanic and Mexican? But you're right. I guess that would be Hispanic meaning could be.
I mean, Hispanic can be from any.
No offense to anyone, but sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's not something a topic I really have to think about or talk about until I seen that, and I was like, wait, isn't Hispanic Mexican? But right, I guess I'm not really worldly. Trust me, my husband always tells me it. He says that I'm. I can't think of the term he always says. Either way. Not good. Mm-mm. I don't know. It says to me that the police don't know who he is. I believe they do. You know, the dude just needs a tattoo. That's all he needed was a tattoo, right? A
Wow.
tattoo. Psht, dude, busted. Okay, let me scroll down here.
It would be interesting to know when they got those DNA results back, because with the timing of when they announced this press conference makes me think that it probably was not long ago, meaning either yesterday or today, probably. Um, so, I mean, I wonder how much information they're going to get from LA now, because I'm sure they are in constant communication with the LA authorities.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, that they were scouring. They've got to be scouring all the other Ring doorbell footage from this neighborhood, and traffic cameras of a vehicle coming or leaving from this area. It wasn't as high priority until it was linked to this murder. So, oh, sorry, but
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to eat a chip. If the suspect is
tortilla or potato?
a potato, yeah, just plain ripple.
Yum. If the suspect is Mexican, the Mexican language should sound a bit different from, say, a Puerto Rican. If he is mingling, oh, you took it off screen.
What would you say?
Oh, I was reading Anna Lizette's comment that was on the screen.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
My bad.
Hispanics in the East, they might notice the difference. Yeah, and that's true. I mean, and there are differences in a lot of Hispanic cultures. Sorry, I was looking at the video again.
Yeah, sorry, I'm eating a chip again.
See, I feel like that goodbye is so like cordial in a way. Like it's almost like he kind of like gives a little nod or wave goodbye, and she closes the door. But we don't. Of course, we don't know the context of what went on.
Well, that's just it. But we know he didn't have his shoes on. Like, who leaves the house without putting their shoes on? Right?
For sure.
Right. Well, the shirt I can understand if you're hot or whatever. It's Los Angeles.
Yeah. I mean, it's Los Angeles, but it's also March, so I mean, you know.
Yeah, it's probably hot there, right?
Do you think? Is he wearing sweat? Is he wearing like joggers?
Yeah, like let's see again. Well,
Because the waistband looks too thick to be denim to me, or
well,
too
let's
wide.
watch it. Okay. First of all, let's see. There's the
Like
shoes.
at first, I thought it was denim, but when I see him like
I
walking down
don't.
the stairs, the waistband looks too pronounced to be denim. Like I think it's joggers.
It has more like a jogger look, but I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
and there's that little bit of bagging, and then the taper at the bottom.
Yeah. So to me, they're either
And he's
like a
not wearing
light.
underwear.
Yeah, like a light. He is wearing a gold chain, Anna. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oops, I almost put her in
absolutely.
a timeout. Yeah. Um. Okay. What we were gonna go back to that wave thing. I think. Let's just go back to that for a second there. Okay. So we'll just do it little slow by
Boom,
slow.
boom, boom. One more.
Okay. Well, he did it.
Oh,
He did it in this part here, right there.
yeah,
See,
there.
you can just a very quick,
Yeah,
almost like a
it was like a
Sia.
little. It was a little tilt with his hand.
You just
So
reminded me of like a Sia. Throw it up in the air, Sia.
yeah, it felt very casual. Like and like I said, and
Yeah.
he's not running. He's not running down those steps. He. I mean, I know people said he got out of there in a hurry, which if he's carrying his shoes and a shirt, he probably was in a hurry. But he walked away from there pretty casually,
I
nonchalant,
think so.
in my opinion. And I know that 1,000 people are probably dissecting this on the internet right now, but
Oh, absolutely. All those people that said it was Richard or the boy, whatever, going, oh, looks like I gotta revamp my videos. Not
Yeah,
revamp them, but just go in a different direction now. Duh.
right.
Mm.
Charmaine says, okay, this is the most Canadian response ever, Charmaine. Could it have been a sorry hand gesture?
Charmaine. Charmaine. Yeah.
I'm just playing with you.
Hmm.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry seems to be. Yeah. That's what we say over here. My husband always makes fun of us for that. Why do you guys always say sorry? I grew up to say sorry. It's like you don't even touch someone. You're like, sorry. It
Right.
truly is. Like, you guys must do it over there and we're just known for it or something.
Yeah.
There's my
Well,
love
no,
for you.
Americans aren't really known to say sorry.
Well, that's my thoughts, to be honest with you.
um, Lala made it. I had not really thought about that, but I mean, you are correct. I mean, well, yeah, he looks fit. So maybe he did know her from the gym, or maybe he has seen her at the gym. But you know,
Right.
if you're 23, 20, if you're
Right.
22, 23 years old, it's usually not as hard to get fit. But yeah, no, I hadn't thought about that. But the gym, and she was a black card holder, I believe, for Planet Fitness, which I think is a really high level of their membership, which means you can work out at any Planet Fitness. So clearly, she was a frequent user of the gym.
What'd you say, Anna? It says is reported the Los Angeles crime was committed against a very young girl.
Yeah,
Yeah, reported.
yeah. I mean, I think they said young girl, but I mean, in my
Well,
opinion, it would have to be a minor.
I mean, here, let's just stop screen, present, share screen.
I want to know how he met that victim in California,
Yeah.
because
Let's,
I'm still have a little hang up over that word home invasion, because nothing I watched in that video um, looked like the aftermath of the home invasion.
yeah.
But
Charmaine
I could be
says when
wrong.
I yeah. Charmaine says when I was at Target in Phoenix, I bumped someone with my card and I said, "Oops, sorry." The dude looked at me like I had two heads. Oh, when I was in Target. I thought she said when I was at Target in Phoenix, I bumped into someone. I just still will never forget. Okay, I gotta say something. I'll just never forget when I went to Disneyland and my mom, like, my mom would always tell us what amazing tans we would always get. A lot of times people in my life say, "Are you native?" No, I'm white. And I'm like, there's no native in me. I'm Russian, German, and French. Okay. Those are my main lines. And so I'm with my twin sister and Paige is like 5 years old. And in order to go on this particular ride, because it only took two people, um, my sister went first, my twin went first, and I was standing there, and this Spanish Hispanic guy, whatever, started talking to me, and I'm just like chilling out with him, waiting for my twin to come back from the ride, and he made this comment that was like, he goes, you know, "You're Spanish, you get what I mean," and I just laughed at him. I'm like, "No, I'm white. I'm from Canada." He's like, "But yeah, but you're Spanish." And I'm like, "Nope, I'm white."
Nope.
I said, "You just think I'm Spanish, I guess, because I got my tan, going on." So I get it. But he literally thought I was one of him. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
how do you mistake me? Like, I'm clear. Like, to me, I'm clearly a Canadian white person, and I just have a tan. But how do you mistake me? Because he kept going, "You get what I mean. You're kidding me. You're lying to me, right?" And I'm like, dude, seriously, I'm white. I'm from Canada. I freaking got German, French, whatever in me. I'm not not Spanish. I wish I was. I wish I had that mix. Don't get me wrong. I always love it when people have a mix of white and Hispanic-y, look. I love it when there's any mix. It just gives these beautiful children, if you ever notice that. But anyways, yeah. So I just that's the one thing I'll always remember about being in California was this Hispanic guy thought literally I was Spanish, and I could not convince him I was not. I'm not even kidding, and I just gave up. I was like, anyways. Adam, sorry, you can go now. Your turn. You can talk.
Oh, sorry. No, someone had said something in the chat, so it was making me think about something.
Yeah.
I had a friend that was, because like I said, Bel Air, Bel Air is a suburb of Baltimore, Maryland, and
Yeah.
Baltimore is a big military hub, I believe, for the Navy. I was going to look it up, but I can't. But I'm streaming on my phone, so I can't look at it right now. So the military aspect could potentially make sense. Someone in their early 20s. I believe that this person is probably from the West Coast, maybe the California area. But if they got transferred to a military base in Maryland, that could easily be why they ended up on the East Coast.
Right. I think it was it Mustang or Shelly had said that up earlier about.
Okay.
Was he from
I had a good friend that was in the Navy, I believe.
Oh, hold on. Charmaine alert. Good night, Charmaine.
Good night, Charmaine. Thank you again, Charmaine.
Yeah. Fall asleep to us, Charmaine.
I had a good friend that was in the Navy, and I went to visit them one time, and I flew into Baltimore, but I can't remember where I went. Annapolis is right there, so could be as well. I'd have to look at where Hartford County is in relation to the naval bases, but that's an absolute possibility.
What do you think, you guys in chat and in here? Do you guys think that this person is going to be arrested within the week? Like, let's just say a week's time, 7 days. What do you think?
Well, I mean, just knowing what we know, the public. Of course, the police are gonna know a lot more than we do. I feel like they have narrowed down the suspect list considerably, knowing that he is a Hispanic male in his early 20s. They know his height, they know his weight. I'm assuming at this point they probably even know potentially what he drives. And the fact that he has a tie to California and Maryland. I don't think it's going to take a rocket scientist to locate this person. And I would say if you're him right now, you are probably scared shitless.
Yeah, shitless. Yeah. I am in Maryland. APG.
Oh, Aberdeen. That's where I was, Aberdeen. Thank you, Emily.
What was I going to say? What magical thing was I going to say a second ago? Oh, I think that if by chance he's not arrested soon, I think definitely we'll be seeing a sketch come out. But the thing is,
I think I have a feeling we're even going to see footage maybe of a vehicle. So I think an arrest has got to come soon.
I think so.
I don't think this was a brainiac.
Yeah. I mean, the guy left his DNA in 2 spots.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a matter of time, dude.
Right.
Someone's gonna pick out your hair, your ears, your clothes, the way you look. I mean, I know that BG was a whole different story, but hopefully we'll get better success with this.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're going to commit a crime as horrific as what it's been reported that happened to Rachel, and you're also going to be as reckless to leave DNA. To me, I'm not a psychologist, but to me that indicates definitely a sense of rage, whether
Yeah.
it be something internal in him or something directed at her. I'm not sure, but um, I'm sensing it has to do like with rage and probably a sexual deviation that
Yeah.
involves probably demeaning women. But you know, that's just what my gut's telling me. But I never used to speculate. Now I'm just speculating all the time.
It's okay to speculate.
I know. I'm just.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me just go back to, let's share screen. Okay. So there's the Aberdeen Proving Ground, which is what
Emily said.
yeah, thank you. So there's the US Army Criminal Aberdeen Intelligence.
Oh, wait,
That's what
is that Army?
huh?
Is that Army?
Yeah.
Wow.
This one. So this is the Aberdeen Proving Grounds, this office. Ooh, US Defense Department. Oh, right beside Candlewood Suites building. Oh, nice. And then the GSA US Army Criminal, whatever that means. Oh, research. Gunpowder. We got gunpowder at APG.
See, and that's why one of the reasons I want to know so badly what area of Los Angeles the crime was took place in, because I mean, Los Angeles is geographically it's a huge area, so I mean, Army actually would fit better with a connection to Los Angeles, but
Okay, so hold on. Let's go to Ma. Okay. See, this is what I hate. I don't like Google Maps for this. Get directions. Why don't you just take the directions that I had, okay? Ma and Pa Trail. Come on now.
transporter exactly, and that's why I said I think that's one something that was not a high priority to Los Angeles police probably originally, because on the scope of Los Angeles crime, an assault on a female, sadly, if no one ended up seriously injured or unalive, that wasn't a huge priority. But now that it's connected to this homicide in Maryland, they're going to be scouring all of the camera footage from the other houses in that area in Los Angeles, and traffic cameras. So I think that their knowledge of the movement of the suspect should probably move quickly at this point. Plus, I mean, he had his phone on. We saw the light on it in his pocket. So
38 minutes away, by the way.
okay.
That's pretty much 40 minutes, we'll just say, from the
And
Ma
that's
Pa
the
Trail.
all right, and I wonder if that's the nearest military base to the
Yeah, it
Mapa
is.
Trail.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. That's why I typed that already. Close, and those are the ones that come up there. It's not very far.
Right. Huh.
Yeah, so you guys can't see that. Let's see here.
I wonder where the bases and outside of LA are.
Yeah, I'm gonna cough, so I'm gonna mute myself for a sec.
Ew.
Yeah, you got cooties. Adam's got cooties. I know I wouldn't be letting that dude out without being injured or arrested on the spot. I'm just saying. Are you kissing your pecs as you're saying that, Crystal? Hey, I think Crystal's doing, one of these like, hey, why is my green screen thing like making me? Oh, I know what it is. It's my freaking light thing over there. It's making me look like I'm all patchy. Okay, going back off camera. I've been on a camera enough today. The door cam must have a timeline. Like I said, this whole video thing, add to stream, this whole little video thing, it reeks of Here's a little thing we're going to show you. That's how I feel about it. It's just one of those
Well,
things like, here you go.
what makes it? I mean, where did he enter the house at? Because clearly, I said this to you in a message earlier, but I was like, if this guy had walked up that driveway, walked up this pathway, walked up those stairs, and entered that door, we would be watching a video of his clearly visible face.
Right.
And and we're not. So it makes me question. I'm like, where did he go in at?
Crystal's getting feisty again.
That did be severely injured, huh? And we'll be leaving in or ambulance, really?
Yeah, she says right up here. I know I would not be letting that dude out without being injured. Yeah. Obviously, I gave her lessons. You're welcome, Kristen, on how to defend herself.
And I sent Sonny. It's funny. I said this earlier on our live, and I sent Sonny a message that I saw on X or Twitter or whatever it's called, from a Latin barber that was like, that haircut is 2 days old. And Jennifer Coffendoffer reposted it. I was like, I knew I was right.
Yeah. Now, hey, what do you mean, transporter? What's the lit up building on the left of the church? What church? Is there a church there? Are we missing a church? I don't think that's a church ahead. Where do you see a church? Maybe he thinks this is a church.
They're kind of like that church door.
Where?
Well, I mean, no, the door, the house door. It kind of looks like a church door, but
yeah. I would never think it was a church. You're
No.
welcome. You're welcome. I don't think there ain't no church over there. Ain't. It's a house. Yeah. Maybe I wonder if he's seeing. I'm not sure if he's referring to that transporter, or if you're seeing like if I stop it here, and maybe he thinks that sign between the two buildings across the street. You think that looks like a cross or something? Oh, I know what he's seeing.
It's the house door.
Are you thinking that the chimes to the left are a church kind of thing? Is that what you're thinking?
I just think that he thinks the door looks like a church door. But
oh no! See, look at light lit up tubes and cross on top. Yeah, I think he's talking. Those are chimes, transporter.
That's a wind chime.
That's a wind chime.
An analyst says, unless that video skews information, suspect has a large chest and narrow hips. He has the physique of a boxer, but doesn't look as muscular as I would expect. I actually thought he looked really muscular, in almost like a soccer player or a young rugby player's physique. And trust me, I'm an expert.
Hey, Adam.
What?
Come back to earth. Travis Phipps says, sorry, had to wait 10 minutes to chat. Yeah, sorry about that. I try to control the trolls that way. We don't have too many here. But there's one that's persistent. I live 10 minutes from Bel Air. What can I answer for you?
How far away is the Army base? And would it be common to see military personnel in Bel Air from the Army base? That's my first question. My second question would be, how large is the Hispanic population in Bel Air?
Yeah, so I was right. Thank you, Travis. Hey, Travis, you got that information from me a couple minutes ago, didn't you? Because I freaking found that out on Google Earth. 40 minutes. Right. Yeah.
And Crystal, there is a Planet Fitness near where? The one in LA or the one in Maryland? Because the Planet Fitness in Maryland that Rachel was working out at was relatively close to the trail that she was found on, even though it wasn't the normal Planet Fitness that she normally worked out at. Yeah, one she would normally worked out at was like 8 minutes, I think, away from the one she was working out at. But she was a black card member, so she could work out at any of them.
Mm. Travis, if you want, you can come sit up with us on the chat. You don't have to show your face or anything. You can just come on and talk if you want. If you want to. No pressure, dude. But you can just sit there and talk and keep an avatar on. The only thing you would have to do is just prove you're a real person in the back room, just so that I can see that you're real and not someone that's going to like try to do a Rick roll, Dick roll on the channel. But meaning, instead of typing, it's up to you if you do. Just let me know in chat, okay? And I'll drop the link.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Fibro, all I see in his pocket is his lit up cell phone.
Yeah.
But if you see a gun, then maybe, you know.
Let's see here. A growing population, just like everywhere in the U.S. You know what? I was amazed how big Hartford County is. I was only expecting like a small population. I wasn't really expecting like 265K people, to be honest with you.
Hey, Anna, um, when we say Bel Air, we're not talking about Los Angeles. The
Yeah.
the home the assault that we're watching a video from happened somewhere in Los Angeles. We don't know where, but the town that Rachel Morin lived in and was the victim of a homicide in was also called Bel Air, but that's in Maryland. Sunny, why so quiet?
Because I muted myself when I was talking. I
I
was
know.
talking to myself because I was eating a chip.
You know, it's funny, Sunny. I never hear your fan, and I hear it tonight.
No,
I wonder
you're
if it's,
hearing my husband's fan.
I wonder if it's because I'm on my phone and not my iPad like normal.
Yeah, I think it's my husband's fan you're hearing. I'll go turn it down. Be right back.
No. It's not
No,
bothersome.
I
It's
no, because I can't.
relaxing.
No, look, I can't even feel it. I'd rather have my own fan going where you can't hear it. Yeah, 1 second. Oh, so look at that. You brown noser, you. I love you for that, though. See, notice how. Oh, look at see my face. It's because it's getting dark out in the green screen. I'm the monster. Anyways, CJ, look
Quiet.
at.
Okay, I'll show my face.
Okay, well now you just ruined it. Now CJK is gonna leave. Okay, I didn't realize Sunny was back. He didn't say Adam and Sunny. I didn't realize Sunny was back. All right, I've been here on time. You see? It doesn't say Adam. No, just said. Okay, I'm gonna go turn.
I feel so little on
Yeah,
my phone here.
you show people your face, and I'm gonna be right back and go turn that fan down so I can turn my fan on. Okay.
Oh, and Anna, I'm sorry, I didn't read the rest of your comment. You get that the Bel Air we're talking about was in Maryland. Um, I apologize for not reading your entire comment before I responded. But Anna says, my point is the suspect allegedly committed a crime um, in Los Angeles, which has a neighborhood called Bel Air. Same suspect is sought for a new crime in Bel Air, Maryland. May mean something or not. Yeah, it could. I mean, judging by the neighborhood we're looking at on the camera or on this footage, it don't look like Bel Air, but um, you don't put your grill in the front yard in Bel Air, California. But no, that is interesting.
Yeah, I was talking about that earlier about the freaking sticks of barbecue out in their front yard. I guess they do. But hey, Adam.
And I'm not criticizing I'm not criticizing the people that this happened to. That's horrible, but
Yeah. Um.
that's not Bel Air.
Yeah. I know. Hey, Adam.
Hey, what?
What do you think about the car? Okay, hold on. Let me take this down. What do you think about how the car is parked like that, and that has a gate, right? Like that's gated there. I mean, I can't really see.
What? Wait.
Um.
What do you mean car park? What do you mean the
Well,
car parked there and the house gated?
well, because there's a fence clearly right there.
Well, yeah,
So they
I sent you a zoomed in picture of that.
but I already seen that. I had
Oh no, I
that's because
know.
I had the same picture. But my point is, what do you think about that? Because the car's obviously backed in. They probably don't leave through the front there because no one's going to be a moron and freaking have to open up a gate on that street. If you were in a rich neighborhood,
Th-
sure. This ain't.
but you can see there's a gate in that fence that's along the street there. You can see there's a gate there.
No, no, no. I'm saying that there's a gate there. What I'm saying is that this looks to me like that the car leaves through kind of like a long parking lot into the back alley more so, or however the back alley is, right? Because this is weird that this is the front of the house and it has gating around it. So because the car is parked the way it is, it probably comes in from the back side. Do you know how sometimes
What, what do you mean? We don't know. We don't know what car he got into.
hey, stop doing the drugs and listen to me, okay? Right now. The people
I,
that live in the home, their
yeah.
car, not Mr. not the little escaper guy there. People that live in their home, they must have one of those driveways which goes like, do you know what I mean? You come in it
Or they don't
through
have a driveway.
what's right there. There's a car vehicle right there. That's this is this is like meaning the car is
Oh
right
yeah, yeah,
here.
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
So
when I lived in California, when I lived in Sacramento, in California, a lot of houses, they had a gate that just like this, and so what you would do is you would either manually open it when you pulled in and out, or some people even had the remote control ones. Um, but yeah, they still went in and out of the onto the street from like what we're looking at.
well, I don't know because what idiots would put a gate there, and that gate would probably hit that vehicle that's parked right there because it's not like it's a small gate.
A lot of times they retract, like
Oh,
they
well, that
retract in,
one that doesn't look
because like I said, when I lived in California, this is actually really common in California, um, and a lot of times they just retract in, almost like they don't
yeah,
swing in or out, um, and I don't know for sure, but I can say that that is really common in California.
and could be. I mean, it's not like it. I'm right. It's just weird.
Right. Like growing up in the Midwest, I had not seen that either. But when I lived in California, I noticed that a lot of houses,
No.
even small houses, because I always think of a house, I always think of with a driveway with a gate being fancy. Um, but in California, you see that a lot, where even just the driveway, the gate, the gate fence gate will like retract in, out, or swing in and out. But um, my guess is that that is a well, I mean, clearly it goes out onto the street.
Well, yeah, but there's a gate there. It doesn't mean that they use it. It could just be a decorational gate.
Right, and that's true.
Now
They may even parallel park on the street in front of the house as to not
yeah.
have to use it.
Uh, I was gonna say, let's someone get your butt down to California right now. I want you to find that wind chime on Google, and Adam will give you $1,000,000.
Right. Well, I messaged Alex Voorhees and I said, "Come on, this is your town. Tell me where this is."
Right? Actually, just tell him to find the yeah, tell us where to find it on Google Earth there,
Yeah.
and also if you could just tell us who the perpetrator is, so we can beat the police to it.
Well, I think I also said, I'm really disappointed in the internet. They've had 2 hours
Yeah.
to figure this out, and no one has.
Travis, I do too. You know, I learned my lesson about that from the one case for Delphi. You know, um, totally thought that I knew who the BG was. Anyways, bottom line is learn my lesson, and
Tom didn't know.
Tom will find it.
I asked him too. He didn't know.
Tom would have to get off his freaking recliner and move over to his computer first. Right now, he's sitting back, enjoying watching us, and actually, he's enjoying listening to our voices. He's not watching us, obviously. He's watching the channel. I'm sure that the door will be
stop, or I'll get a message. Okay.
KD is the bomb. Mustang, you need to shut up about that. Is what you need to do. Okay, you've made mole remarks tonight. You made KD is the bomb. It's time to let it go now. Okay, I'm over it. Time for you to be over it. Okay, moly, 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 moly. Okay, I think I saw a mole on his back. Okay, one mole. That's all I could. That's all I could look at. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kitty is not the bomb, unfortunately.
I do like that door. I will give them that. I
do like the door too. I'm not really appreciating that dollar store little
tiny wreath.
Yeah. But I do like the door. I do like the door. I just wish that there was like that moment where he turns his face to that camera. I just wish there was that moment. Right. Hey, you guys, I need to take that down.
Oh, keep going. I want to watch it one more time.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Now pause. Oh. When he's walking down the stairs, he turns his head at one point, but he doesn't turn it far enough to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone on Twitter had played it really in slow motion, and I didn't see anything more.
No, that's why I didn't bother.
Pyro, I'll be honest, I'm distracted by those dimples above the
door
pants as well.
Oh, those. I'm looking at the Spock ears. He looks like Spock. Like, look at those ears. Those are not normal ears. Those are like Spock ears. Those don't unless I'm being deceived. Those look like
you're right. I mean, that's probably an identifiable feature. Is he's got big ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, which unless he's grown his hair out at this point, so it might be harder to tell if he's grown his hair out a little bit. But remember, this was in March.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you to Travis Phipps for answering those questions. I mean, we know that the air, so Travis and anyone else in chat, our thing that we were talking about earlier, Travis, is the fact that the police basically said that there was, no imminent danger to the community, or how did they phrase it, Adam? Something like that.
They felt like it was They felt like it was targeted, and they felt like there was no immediate threat to the public. Whereas then today they came out, during this press conference and said, no, looks like it was a stranger. Looks like it was a random act of violence, and we urge you to take caution when you're out, and don't have your headphones in, and keep a vigilant eye.
They totally made it seem, I'm not to me, the wording that they used and how they talked, they made it seem like it was a personal targeted account. Right. And
that's what they said at first. Yeah.
And it was because even Jennifer Coffindaffer, FBI agent, ex-FBI agent, again, she said, well, chances are it was personal because they left the crime scene after a couple hours. They released the crime scene.
Right.
Well, yeah, but they said be vigilant. But who cares? I mean,
they said that today. At first they said there's no threat to public safety. They think that it was a targeted attack. My guess is they said that because of the brutality of the event. I think they probably assumed it had to be someone close to her because of the rage that went into it. But I mean, today they basically said, nope, it was a random act of violence, and we don't believe that the suspect was known to Rachel.
Yeah, and they totally did say that. Not even once, more than once. because it was one of those things that instead of causing hysteria amongst people, it's their way of saying, look, we don't believe that. Basically, stay in numbers, carry a whistle, be vigilant about what you're doing, basically protect yourself, in a sense. But it's like basically going,
Right.
we don't really feel like there's a threat here, as if it was a personal thing. That's exactly what they said, in the sense of, that releasing the crime
Right.
scene. They said it twice. That was the second time.
Right.
Is when they
And
said it.
Travis, the time I'm thinking about is it was the second press conference that, well, and I think it was just a statement that the sheriff released, um, but he did a video of it, um, and I remember hearing him say um, that they believe it was a targeted attack, or not necessarily the words targeted attack, but that they believe it was. They said there's no threat to public safety.
you know um at the end of the day, those same words, the sheriff actually said that they can't stay there, say that there isn't a danger to the community, was exactly false. Was exactly a false statement to say. There was a danger to the community. There was a danger. But they made it seem like it was a personal attack, you know but there was a
And I
danger.
think they said the word present, if I remember
What,
correctly.
what word?
There's no present threat. There's no present threat to the community.
Mm. Yeah, which was false. Like, that's the thing, is that regardless, whichever words, bottom line, the words were meaning the same thing, and there was more of a high risk of something, because they didn't know who it was. Like, look at, who would have guessed it was some freaking guy out of Los Angeles, that had didn't done an attack, and possibly more before this, and he just hasn't been in the system yet, because he hasn't been caught.
Right. And
So right, just meaning,
and
like, you would think that they would keep the trail closed, until they felt like, okay, like, you know what I mean? It was one of those things, is that it almost
or at
seemed
least
like,
issue a warning.
yeah. Well,
Put up flyers, posters that there was an incident in the area. They didn't do that. And I do want to say quickly, Travis, if I'm incorrect, I have no problem admitting that. And I can't look at it again, because I'm streaming on my phone. But if I'm incorrect in the wording I'm using as far as what the sheriff said, um, please correct me. But but I do remember that there was definitely an emphasis on the fact that there's no present threat to the community or whatever it was that he said. But if I'm wrong, I will admit that.
well, it's the same meaning, though, regardless. To me, it's neither here nor there, a little bit, because it's just the same meaning, that here we're opening up the trail. And to me, after a couple hours of opening up the trail, like, you don't know if that person's still within the trail. But basically, it's no different than what they did in Delphi, right? They're basically saying, just like they did in Delphi, do you feel like the community should be worried? Well, we're going to say that you should just be very wary of your surroundings. People are adults and they should know what to do. It's like they're afraid to say that because they don't want to cause a type of
Right.
panic, right? But yet, by the same token, to me, that's not being really forthright, because
Well, it's not being transparent with your with the people that you're serving, which that's what public servants do, is they serve the community. And I feel like it's a disservice to tell them something that is not factual. And
right.
even if your suspicion is that it was factual, clearly they didn't have evidence to support what they were saying. So why'd they say it?
Yeah, they said
What
that
if
there was a bunch.
what if the next day someone else had been unalived on that trail?
Yeah.
To me,
Bottom
that's a
line,
bigger liability.
yeah. I think it's just the fact that it just simply boils down to minimizing it. It's no different than them saying we just like to hold things close to our vest. They all use the same stuff that comes out of their mouth. Really, it's like a 101 book for dummies on the things that we should say, because they don't want to cause a panic. But I think it's just that I feel it's deceptive. They if they only because they did portray it like it was a personal attack, like as if it was, like as if they basically knew kind of who it was, in a sense, is how it came across. It really
Right.
came across like it was somebody that knew Rachel or knew she was going to be there through social media. And then all of a sudden, boom, we have some random guy. I mean,
Right.
who knows? Maybe they'll find a connection at some point, within the
Right.
social media underneath of a false name. And it's this guy. But I mean, he seems kind of dumb leaving his DNA all over.
Yeah. But
Gonna
I
get
mean,
caught.
from the second we started covering this case, I mean, I looked at the statements by, the sheriff's department as far as not being a threat. And then I also looked at the fact that I felt like there was also no implication that I felt like they almost went out of their way to kind of like say they did not say there was no involvement from the boyfriend, but I got that implicit
Right.
impression when I listened to the words the sheriff said.
Yeah.
Um, and
And
and and I've covered enough cases that when I hear the words someone uses, I can read between the lines usually. Um, and so I immediately kind of zeroed in on that. Like, if you know, if this was a targeted thing, you know, why don't you have any leads? And then you're, at the same time telling the public there's nothing to worry about, but you're, not giving any implication to who did this. And now we know that, it was a stranger, most likely. So
yeah.
I don't know. And then, I'm always a supporter of law enforcement, but it didn't take them long to buy that $20,000 ATV, did it?
Right.
A $20,000 four wheeler. I mean,
Yeah.
come on,
That's
that's
crazy.
ridiculous.
Well, that's because
To
they all
help
got.
to help search for the perpetrator.
Well, no, I think it was to help, um, keep the safety on the
Yes,
trail.
yes, it
But
was. Yes,
but I'm sorry, $20,000, really?
my first car didn't cost $20,000.
Well, okay, so I know that they have to pimp it out to police standards. You know, you do know that they have to put on certain
Of
equipment
course.
and
Oh,
and
of
all
course.
that stuff. So I understand that, but $20,000.
Right, and it will serve the community well. I'm not I'm really just taking a piss at them a
Well,
little bit, but I was like,
you
well, they
know,
didn't wait long for that.
well, I was gonna say, I mean, they're really pushing right now to put cameras on the trail and trying to
They
make it a
should.
priority. Now that's important. That is
Right,
important. That is very important.
right.
Um,
I don't think Delphi ever even did that with the Moon and the Hybrids Trail. I don't
right.
think they invested in a whole camera
Yeah.
system.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's all politicky shit anyway. Um,
Right. And I'm not criticizing. I support law enforcement. I'm just
yeah.
taking a piss at them for for
Well,
the timing of them being like, no, yep, time to get that $20,000 ATV.
yeah. I think that the cameras should have been on the trails before an ATV was bought. One
Right.
ATV, big shit and deal. Cameras, huge difference. Sorry, they got horses. Go rent a freaking couple horses for a few days, for a week or so. Go ride up and gallop on some horses. Probably could have got about 30 horses for $20,000, if not more, to be honest with you.
Right.
How about bikes? Nothing wrong with bikes. Well, I guess it depends on. I don't know the trail, so obviously ATVs can go through different things, obviously than just a bike. But horses are a good option, to be honest with you. Now let's see here. Let's just watch though again. Let's just go to stop screen for a second. We're gonna go to share screen, and let's just go back over to um, this right here and hit play.
Based on the DNA evidence, we consider the individual in the video we obtained from the Los Angeles Police Department and that we are about to show you on our TV screens to be the person that murdered Rachel Morin on August 5th. So we're now going to show the video. And just so everyone's aware, this video, after this press conference, this video will be posted on our social media.
Their video sex on this for court TV there.
All right, you want to play it one more time?
Like, what the heck? What were they showing there? Like,
You know, and they even went as far. I mean, they even went as far to say, you know,
we're going to post it on our social media.
Go ahead. What were you going to say, Adam?
they even went as far to say the person that, you know, unalived Rachel, not someone we're seeking information on, or someone we'd like to talk to whose DNA was found at the scene. I mean, they outright said the person that unalived Rachel, which, you know, to me, that's telling as far as what the DNA probably was.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the DNA is like, prior to when I hit play, it said, let's go back to that for a second.
Tips have flooded our inboxes and emails. Her death has grabbed local, state, national, and international headlines, everyone with the same goal: find the killer and bring justice to Rachel. DNA evidence is part of nearly every modern day investigation, and in Rachel's case, DNA evidence was collected by our Forensic Services Unit. That DNA was analyzed by the Maryland State Police, and it was ran through the National CODIS system. This DNA evidence has come back as a match, tied to a home invasion and an assault of a young girl in Los Angeles this past March. Unfortunately, that suspect has not been positively identified, but he did leave behind his DNA. Based on the DNA evidence, we consider the individual in the video we obtained from the Los Angeles Police Department and that we are about to show you on our TV screens to be the person that murdered Rachel Morin on August 5th. So we're now going to show the video. And just so everyone's aware, this video, after this press conference, this video will be posted on our social media.
What kind of shit job was that video? Like, what the heck are they? Why aren't they showing his freaking face in this video? And look,
all right, you want to play it one more time?
Like, that's a real crap job. Like, there's nothing I can do to fix that. That's just their video.
Okay.
11.
It probably
when you're ready, we're going to post it on our social media.
You're bad. You keep talking over the video. What'd you say?
I said it probably uploaded when it was still processing at a lower resolution, so it was probably uploaded at 720.
Yeah, but they're not even showing his face.
Yeah.
Like, they've literally cut it off. So I don't know what happened there. But anyway, it doesn't matter because we all know we can get it from here, from the Hartford Police or whatever. So let me just continue playing it a little bit more.
Based on our analysis of this video and witness observations, we believe the suspect to be approximately 5'9", 160 pounds, and of Hispanic descent. If you have any information about this suspect, we are asking you to please call our detectives at our tip line. And the tip line number is 410-836-7788. And we've also established a dedicated tip email address, and that email address is rmtips@hartfordsheriff.org. Again, that's RM as in Rachel Morin, tips @hartfordsheriff.org. We want to make it clear that we believe the suspect acted alone, and he doesn't represent the entire Hispanic community of Hartford County, who we are now partnering with to identify this suspect. I know I can speak for the sheriff when I say we are immensely proud of this community. Our community will not be defined by this tragedy. Our community is one that will work together to get the job done and bring this suspect to justice. In the meantime, in the light of this new evidence, I urge our citizens to use caution while walking on our trails and throughout our community. Be alert, walk with a friend, don't allow yourself to be distracted by your cell phone or headphones. And finally, if you see something that makes you feel uncomfortable or that you think is suspicious, act on those instincts and call 911. And lastly, we will continue our increased presence on the Mom Pod Trail. And now I'll open it up to questions.
Colonel, do you have any other details on what happened in Los Angeles, exactly where, or anything about what this person did there?
So when it comes to the details about Los Angeles, that's the information that the Los Angeles Police Department has, and we were just going to refer people to the Los Angeles Police Department to get those details. Only thing I can tell you was an attack on a young girl.
Any word about a possible motive? Like, was Rachel missing any money or anything like that?
So we are not going to talk about the crime scene at this time because, as I've said in previous interviews, we don't want to talk about the crime scene or what happened at the crime scene because once we catch this person, we want to make sure we got the right person. And the only people that know what happened at that crime scene when we catch the person is us and that suspect. So we're not giving any details about that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Again, how did you come across, what led you to this particular suspect, this person?
So we collected DNA from our crime scene. The Maryland State Police analyzed that DNA for us, ran it through the national CODIS system, and that came back as a match to the crime that occurred in Los Angeles, where they had recovered DNA from this person that you saw in the video.
The video that we watched, tell us about it. I mean, what Los Angeles Police released it to you, but what is it? Is it at his home? Is it at the scene of a crime?
That is at a home, and that is the suspect leaving the scene of the crime there.
That was a home invasion and assault.
Correct.
Of a little girl? Is that just
A young girl. So I'm going to leave it at a young girl. I don't want to talk about the family there, but it was a young girl in the house that got assaulted.
What does this do to the case, Colonel? You have an image now of the person you think is believed to be
Correct.
responsible for this. What does that do for the case?
Well, I think now it kind of leads us down the path that we believe this was a person that Rachel probably didn't know. Maybe you could say potentially a random act of violence. And we're hoping that the community now can watch that video. And we also got still pictures that we're going to be putting out and that somebody can identify him.
Have you narrowed it down to a certain area? Do you think he could still be like somewhere on the Mont?
We don't have any clue where he could be. We don't even know if he's still in Harford County or in the state of Maryland, because obviously in March he was in California, and then here in August he was here in Maryland. So we don't know if he's still here or not.
Do you have any evidence that he was targeting people along that trail, or do you believe this was completely random?
I'd only be speculating. We do not know.
Do you think he may be armed with weapons or anything?
Again, speculation.
You described him, Colonel, as 5'9", 160 Hispanic male. Do we have an approximate age? Or?
Oh, yeah. We believe he's in his low to mid 20s.
Do you have a date for when the Los Angeles information happened?
I'm just going to put out that it was in March. The Los Angeles Police Department knows that we're doing this press conference. So if you called them, they would probably be able to give you that information.
How rare is this to have a DNA hit from the other side of the country? And, can you talk about that process and how that worked?
I mean, this is the first time I've seen a hit in a case that I've been involved in that was that far away for a DNA hit. So I wouldn't say that it's unheard of, but certainly unusual.
For the record, you don't have his name?
No, that's what we're looking for.
Like where you live or anything like that? From LA? Or?
We don't know. We know nothing more about him other than he was in LA and committed that crime in March, and he was here in August and is the murderer. We believe to be the murderer of Rachel Morin.
To follow up on that question, you identified him through DNA evidence through this database. So there's no name associated with that?
No. There's no name associated because it's just evidence from a crime that was submitted. And his DNA on it, like being arrested and getting DNA, none of that is in the system. However, we are working with, we have called the FBI, and we are working with some of their DNA experts in their crime lab to try to help us further analyze this DNA.
Without compromising the investigation, can you tell us
Rachel was found,
Correct.
and it was determined that it was a homicide.
Correct.
Was it trauma? Was she beaten? What was the nature of
All we've said so far, and I think that we're going to leave it at that, is that it was a violent attack.
What's your message to the
relationship at all between Rachel and the suspect?
Well, again, we just got this information last night. Not that we have been able to determine yet that we don't know of any relationship or that they were known to each other before this incident. So I can't really say, but right now, no.
Obviously, this is it already has the community on the edge.
Absolutely.
We have somebody out here who just murdered someone. What's your message to the community? Obviously, people are scared.
Yeah, we want our community to be vigilant. Obviously, the Mom Pa Trail has been open since the day after Rachel was discovered. We have a very large amount of deployment on the Mom Pa Trail. We are going to continue that deployment until either this person is caught or we believe he's not in the area anymore. But our plan is to be vigilant for our community. Our community has been just tremendous with the support they give us and trying to figure out what's going on and calling in tips. And we're hoping that maybe even people from LA will see this interview and see that this person committed that crime there, and maybe somebody knows him. We believe and we hope that somebody who actually knows this suspect that's in the video will be able to identify him for us.
Forgive me if you said this. Are you revealing where the DNA was found?
No.
Was it under fingernails?
No,
or
we're not going to reveal that.
That video is from Los Angeles.
That video is from, yep, that is the suspect leaving the assault that occurred in March in Los Angeles. I mean, yes. All right. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Colonel.
So, a few things to say there, to be honest with you. And I believe that you're probably right on that, Anne. That there's probably some undercovers that are walking the trails, just acting like regular people. And so the other thing is that I noticed that they said was that he basically said, so it could be that she knows him. So she literally could have been met him through a dating app site, perhaps, which seems the most likely. It doesn't seem like someone just, it would seem like it would come from a dating app. If she was just in a fresh relationship, in a sense, she could have been, everyone uses dating sites if they're single most times, except for Adam. He clearly says no. Because Adam's perfect, he said. Pretty sure. Right,
never used one.
No. One day he will. I mean, I get it, Adam. You fell in love with me. I get it. I feel the restraint.
I can't find like an Americans for Canadian dating site.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, is there anything that you listened to that time that you didn't catch the first time?
Yes, I noticed that they answered my question as far as when they got the information, and they said last night. So, I find it interesting that they got this information. I'm assuming when they say this information, I'm assuming they got the video last night.
Yes.
Presumably, I would think then they got the DNA probably yesterday morning or yesterday during the day. And
could be Ben.
So I mean, again, in that it makes me interested in why that they scheduled this press conference. Would they scheduled it like with an hour and a half notice, I think.
Right.
Today, and then delayed it.
Right.
So I'm still curious as to what caused the delay, but
maybe they were just waiting for a little bit more information to come in.
Right.
Something.
Right. Or maybe there was some lead they were running down
before, yeah.
But
What I'm thinking is this, though. What I'm thinking is that the case in California, they did a shit job on. They basically, okay, please come to the house. Probably never made it to social media to show the public, hey, has anyone seen this? Maybe it's out there. I'm thinking that they just kind of, got the information. Public never got anything to see that video. So I believe now, if anything, like meaning if they're kind of coming up a little bit dry, um, then they're going to come out with a sketch for sure, because that's simply because that probably, like I said, it doesn't seem like it made it to the media too much. It was almost like it was, like, okay, thanks, just another one of the thousand that happened out here. We'll let you
Right.
know,
But,
da 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 da.
and sadly, they if every crime that was committed in Los Angeles was
Right.
on the news every day, the news
Yeah.
would last for 12 hours. I mean, and I know that sounds insensitive, but
Yeah. It's true
an
though.
assault that doesn't result in like bodily harm or
Yeah, murder or
physical
something.
body harm, um, it's not going to be the highest priority for a police department like Los Angeles until it's connected to a bigger crime, like it has been now.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm not surprised that it didn't receive media
no, me
attention.
neither. Um, in a place like Hartford, yes. In a place like Los Angeles, no. It was probably one of the more minor things that happened that day. To be honest with you, didn't make it to the news, didn't make the cut,
And
news and all
you
that.
have to look at the resources that go into like investigating something like that. It takes a lot of manpower and resources to say like to scour this entire neighborhood for camera footage of this POS leaving or coming or traffic
Yeah,
cameras. And when they have multiple homicides a day, those are always going to take priority. So now I
absolutely.
guarantee you that authorities in the FBI, Los Angeles Police Department, the Los Angeles County Police Department, and now the Maryland State Police and probably the Hartford Police are all looking into all of the avenues that go into this case in California. So this guy's
Yeah.
days are numbered. This guy's days are numbered.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day is that what's unknown here is how many crimes has he committed besides these two,
Right.
you know?
Well,
Because,
he's got 2 crimes in CODIS now.
yeah. And there's probably more, to be honest with you. Um, and the thing is, when this is what drives me batty. Um, is when you see someone like this, right? Got a physically fit body, probably a decent looking gentleman. No, I don't want to call him a gentleman because obviously he's a piece of shit. So a decent looking piece of shit, and he has to do this type of shit. And so obviously,
And who knows how old this girl was? I mean, this could be a 14-year-old.
yeah, it could be a 14-year-old. Exactly, they just said young girl. Um, yeah, I mean, if the FBI. Do you think that the FBI are going to take over the case? I still think it's going to be handled underneath Hartford, but the FBI are going to assist.
Yeah, the FBI are good. From what I heard, I mean, the FBI are going to assist, of course, but I don't see
Yeah,
any reason to hand over
the case.
jurisdiction to the FBI.
Yeah,
I think that Hartford Police or at most Maryland State Police are going to retain authority on this case,
yeah,
as I think they probably should.
yeah, yeah.
With, with
Same.
assistance, with assistance now probably from California,
Right.
California State Police, Los Angeles Police Department, probably U.S. Marshals, probably the FBI. So
Yeah. Um, like with what Michael said, Michael Gabrinsky, um, I believe that she was found in or near the tunnel. Um, that there,
I think
she,
yeah,
yeah, that her body was stripped of her clothes. That it's probably an essay, um, and maybe it's one of those things where he wouldn't, but it's not a. This wouldn't be like I said, a 14-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old. We're talking about a female that's a lot more physically fit that could probably put more up a fight. in a sense, and picks up a rock,
Yeah.
does what he does. So, but the police, of course, don't want someone from a civilian like airing that shit to the public because they're
Right.
trying to keep that under wraps. But too late, he did, and it's out
I
there.
I would also expect that since this information came to light, I guarantee you that, and I know it's like what, 3 men, 2 women, a dog, 2 women, however, the 5 witnesses or whatever um, that law enforcement have spoken to that they believe are on the trails at the same time that this incident might have taken place. I guarantee you they've been spoken to again because
Yeah,
with the
I
information
think so.
that they've come into,
Oh yeah,
um, so I'm sure that this video has been shown to them. I'm sure that they're
they would
being
have.
asked about what they saw in relation to someone that might have looked like this, and hopefully one of them might prove to have valuable information.
I was going to say, I think that there was no sketch ever done of this gentleman. Um, and now that they have this information, now they're definitely having some sort of sketch artist. If they can't figure out who he is, they're going to definitely put a sketch out there to the public now that they're going to go back to this home. Because I just think that, again, it was one of these cases. No sketch was done. They took the report. Um, you know, and again, it just became one of the cases that, you know,
Right. We don't
fell
know
in.
how we don't know how this person met him. We don't know
Yeah,
if it was literally a break-in. We don't know because said
yeah,
if parents aren't home and an adult comes into a home, even if invited by a minor, it can still be considered a home invasion.
yeah. I mean, I, I think the thing is here is that w- what makes me think that they really didn't overly do their job here, and this is just a guesstimation, okay? Because hold on, let me just put this dude's freaking face back up there, just so that when somebody pops in, they can see it. Okay, boom. Okay, um, is because to me, if they would have taken this seriously, trust me, I'm sure there's plenty of cameras down that street
Of
that would have
course.
had him on their doorbell camera or on a
Right.
camera. We all know that so many crimes happen nowadays that virtually everyone has cameras or doorbell, meaning in that whole vicinity. So that leads me to believe that they didn't even bother to search for any other footage from places.
Right. They probably didn't have the resource. They probably just didn't have the resources to, even do it, sadly.
Yeah. I mean, if right, and it so there's no way there would have been footage. He clearly goes out the front. He turns to the right. He probably has a vehicle parked somewhere on that road or down the road at some point like that. Pretty sure he didn't bus it over. Pretty sure he didn't taxi it over. I'm sure he probably didn't walk over. He could have, but I doubt it. He probably
Right.
has a vehicle that's off down the street. And yeah, I mean, again, if this report to me was bigger, like would have been taken. I'll say, it's again, we're talking about Los Angeles, and then sadly, Hartford and a lot of other places, it would have been handled differently, because they would have been gathering all the freaking doorbell footage. Here, this case, you can just tell. It just seems like they're going to go back, you know, talk to the person, get a better sketch of what the person looked like in a sense. Unless, of course, what is it the one that when they had used 23andMe. Is that familiar? Is that what it's called? Familiar?
Familial DNA. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean that also costs a lot of money, and they're not going to do that without more of a
Well,
reason to,
that's just the
sadly.
thing. It boils down to
And
money.
yeah,
Yeah.
and um, we don't even know that the victim in the LA incident, we don't even know if she was cooperative with police. So I mean, like, yeah, we know they got DNA from her, which is one of the reasons I suspect she was a minor, because the parents could could make that decision whether they get DNA from her. But if they don't know who this guy was just from the girl's description, she might not have been cooperative.
Well, see now. I'm going to probably disagree with that because I just think
I
that
don't know.
I just think that the thing is, the cops came, they did their nominal job that they do because, because come on, there's a lot of lazy cops out there too.
Right.
But I'm just thinking that you can tell if this is the best footage that they have to give out, that means that, and there's no sketch, so that they're going to go back there. They're going to retrieve more information to get a sketch of this person, unless, of course, someone puts him out, just kind of like what the guy said, the sheriff, like we talked about earlier, that because this footage wasn't out there before, hopefully someone within the LA area or someone within the Maryland area says, you know what, hey, I recognize that guy. I recognize, so I think that might happen first before an actual sketch comes out. Not saying that's for sure, but I definitely feel if this is the best footage they got, they certainly didn't do anything more than just take their report, and it was just one of many things that happened. And because it just doesn't, it's not a top crime to them. It's important, but it also, meaning an essay is called,
it sucks, but that's also not their fault as far as if you've got 15 homicides and then you've got 5 incidences like this that happened in that day. Of course, the 15 homicides are going to take priority every time.
Sharon, they did not say she was 11 in any part of that press conference. They said she was a young girl.
Yeah.
I think it's just because people said 11 and thought that they heard 11. But anyways, we just listened to it. So it said young girl. And he said, basically he said, I'm not going to really talk about the family. So she could have been 14. Right. She could have been 15. She could have been,
so one of the reporters even said young child. And the sheriff even said, I'm going to say young girl and leave it at that.
Yeah. And that could have been who was closing the door there.
Well, I mean,
right?
That was a small hand.
Yeah, that looked like a small hand to me.
I mean, if you look at it in relation to the door handle, that's a small hand.
That looks like a small hand to me too. Definitely a female hand, because definitely not gonna be no male there.
Right.
But yeah, that's like a female, like that to me looks like
and isn't it weird?
Like the height of it just looks like you. Yeah.
Isn't it weird that she reached onto the outside of the door?
Not really. I didn't think so. She kind of grabbed the door, kind of like most people would. Like she just used the back of her hand, like the front of her hand, to push it closed, like most people would do. Did you just see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like see, it's just somebody.
I just felt like there was a very casualness to it, as far as like the way that she even reached to the outside of the door. But
well, you know what? It truly depends what exactly happened here. He doesn't look like he's racing away. So it could have been the fact that maybe under pressure, she felt like, maybe he was fondling her only, who knows? And then, you know how female girls are, right? Especially if they're naive, and it's easy for sometimes people to be coerced into stuff. So maybe after she left, she felt like she was a victim of that because, she felt, like I said, like she felt like she had to do something. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that, because they're very passive and shy, then they fall into sometimes these things and let someone talk them into something, even if they didn't truly want it, because they felt fear or felt, that
regardless, it's wrong that he was there in the first place. So, I mean, even if she invited him over,
right,
he is still a criminal for being in that home.
It's only for the fact that the person.
My gut tells me that the parents probably became aware of this incident by seeing the video footage we're watching. I get a notice if someone's at my front door on my phone.
Yeah.
So.
Because But you know what's still strange about it all, even though I think that this is more of a casual leaving of the house, I
Yeah.
don't feel like it's one of those things where he went in and did his thing, because that person would not be at that door probably closing it, as he's basically kind of giving a hand gesture like "see you later"
Right.
or something like that. It just,
Yeah, he could have left that house and slammed the door himself without and her be wherever she was in the house, but
yeah,
she walked him to the door. So, but I mean, we're speculating. Who knows?
I won't doubt if she met him off of a dating site herself, to be honest with you, or at the gym, perhaps. He does look like he, of course, goes to the gym there. So
Or
hopefully
does
some.
he have more of, or does he know this girl more? Or does he have a more of a personal connection to this area and to this family, and that's how we'll find him. But I don't know.
I think he's just a sexual freaking perv. That
Right.
but beyond that now, because obviously his DNA matched this.
He
He's
doesn't look like the kind of person that he doesn't. I mean,
not
I'm
running away.
being superficial. He doesn't look like someone that would have to catfish in order to meet someone.
Right? No, no.
But
I mean, he doesn't look like it, but there's a lot of people on there that
yeah,
are actually decent looking, but usually they
he's
have
no
girlfriends.
He's no Keegan Klein.
No, no. I mean, Keegan Klein would give this guy a smack. All Keegan Klein would have to do is just even chest bump him, really. And this guy would probably be TKO.
Pretty sure at this point that belly would hit way before the chest.
True that. True that.
Okay.
He stuck
got
at the
got my
base.
Keegan Klein dig in for the night.
Yeah. I'm going to say that he's, well, I mean, he could be. And I mean, he could, like you guys in the US, our military system over here in Canada, you know.
I'm thinking military.
Are you thinking military? Who
I
here is
I,
thinking military?
I am thinking military because
Because he's there and then there.
Baltimore. That is it's a big military area. And they said, and I'm gonna look up the army bases near Los Angeles and see where they're all at. But
I really wish that they would have at least said the section of LA, like which section it was. I'd probably be sitting there all night on Google Earth, going up and down every damn street in that section.
Oh, you can't. From what we're seeing, you'd never be able to, because this looks like 90% of the neighborhoods in California.
Well, yeah, and the barbecues probably wasn't going to be on Google Earth out front. Well, I think that, like I said, this girl is obviously a lot luckier than Rachel Morin ended up being. I think, again, it's going to be the gym or a dating site. That's how he's going to have known her, if he actually knows her. That's how I don't honestly think that he was just on the trail randomly.
Right.
I don't feel that. Do you guys? Hold on. Adam, you talk to the people of the people. I'm going to play with my pendulum for a second. Okay.
And I'm going to be honest. I mean, I'm just going to judge what I'm looking at on the camera as far as, I mean, yes, this is like it looks like a ranch style type house. I mean, you can't tell, but it's a nice front door. The pants he has on, the haircut, the fact he has, it looks like, in my opinion, like an Android or an iPhone. I don't think he's illegal. Like, like he's wearing, you can tell those are nice joggers. I don't get the vibe that he's an illegal. I think someone in the chat had said that. Hispanic, yes, but illegal, I don't get that vibe. I'm thinking military. Now I'm just watching this video over and over again.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I wrote down white, Hispanic, and black on my paper here, and I asked white, Hispanic, or black. it absolutely did. Like I went to it back and forth, Hispanic. It circled, but then it kind of went back and forth again. Then I went to black. Then I went back up to Hispanic, and it circled on the Hispanic. So now I'm going to talk to my pendulum here, and ask if she knew him. Okay.
And Shelley says the fact he went from California to Maryland is why I think illegal. But yeah, Shelley, that could also be for. I mean, think about that. That's a long way to go if you're an illegal. I think it would be more explainable if he went from California to Maryland, especially if you think about someone in their early 20s. It's the normal age to be in the military. Um, and it would be perfectly normal to transfer from military base to military base when you're in your early 20s, especially after you say you committed a crime in California and then you get transferred to a different base in a different part of the country. So yeah, they get bus rides, but I, other than him being Hispanic, Shelley, I don't see any indication as to why that there would be a even idea that he was an illegal. I mean,
I don't think he is.
I just don't get that vibe. I mean, those joggers are expensive. You can tell. I'm thinking military,
Okay, hold on. Let me
or
write
or
that down.
or he had a family connection. But
No, I'm getting dating site. I'm getting dating site. Dating site.
right,
It's circled right away. Military. Not to say it's 100, but if you guys, if it's a dating site, let me just put in military. What should I put? Military. What other word? Military.
family or illegal. I don't know.
I just like to have a couple options, obviously. Military. Neighbor. I'll put neighbor.
Neighbor. I put family.
Well, I put family already, or
Okay.
and I'll put friend, even though I did friend in that one. But let's just see. Let's just see what it says about military. I'm just gonna see because it seems to be wanting to circle around accuracy. Well, I can't say dating site for sure. Um, okay, hold on. I'm getting a no,
On what?
but hold on. But hold on. Let me just see. I like to do it a couple times. Family, no. Military. Yeah. Neighbor. Let's put neighbor. I'm not feeling military myself anyway. I know you guys are thinking it, and maybe it's
I
because
mean, I
I'm
think it's a
Canadian.
possibility. I'm just
Oh no,
speculating
it's a
from the fact that
possibility.
I know
Yeah,
that Baltimore.
yeah.
Um,
Not a friend, not a neighbor. Hold on, friend. Let's put friend. Oh, I didn't write down Jim. I gotta write down Jim. Did they meet? Not the Jim. Okay, let me try Jim. Well, they did say dating site, even though it's circled for dating site.
I mean, if he was in the area, he could have met her anywhere. But
Uh,
she
Jim
looks
is
like a
saying no. Saying dating site. Dating. Let me go back to dating site. And I find pendulums so interesting. The energy off of them is crazy to me. Like it's crazy that you're just holding something straight up and down, and then the thing literally starts moving on its own, and you're trying to be as still as possible, right? Like you're trying not to move and just let it do its thing. It's crazy the energy that comes off of them.
Yeah. And I said, and I don't know if he's military. To me, it seems like a strong possibility just based on his
Yeah,
age and the fact that it's cross country, but and his physique. But
yeah. Let me see. So I'm just gonna go over these again. So we got Jim. Just like Jessica said, you know, yeah, Jim is a total no. It's given me, but
yeah,
like I mean, I'll just come back and look at the. You want me to write illegal? Is he illegal? Is Rachel's killer
It is tapered, actually. Um, Bo Leave Hun. That's a very it's a very modern taper, but it is tapered. It's kind of the modern version of a high and tight. I'm a hairstylist, so I know these things. But they almost go to the skin, and then it gets, it goes from very, very like tight to longer, right past the occipital bone. Right.
Wow, it's so funny. The minute it goes over Hispanic, it just starts circling. Anyways, just quickly, Adam, so Shelly, no, he's not illegal, is what it's saying. Dating site, it keeps circling. So I kind of believe that that's myself, how he got to know her. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm not getting military. I'm getting dating site, and I'm getting Hispanic, like it's showing, and I'm not getting Jim. So I'm gonna go with um as that. I mean, it seems very rational regardless, that a dating site, because of the fact that that came out in the news that she was spending time on dating sites. I'm gonna guess that he was either, and who knows if he was military. Either way, he was in that neck of the woods,
Right.
whether he was stationed or whether he wasn't, and that they met on a dating site, because pervs like that do exactly those things. Adam,
Well,
for the fact that
if he's in his early 20s, it'd be of course common that he'd be on a dating site. If he's single and in his
yeah,
early 20s, it
yeah,
doesn't matter where he is or why he's there. Um,
yeah,
it would be easily understandable that for him to be on Tinder or Bumble or one
no,
of those. I mean, look at Kaylee Gonzalez. All
yeah,
of the Idaho people had been on Tinder at one point, and they were all in their early 20s. So that, the things that we know about the case are that, he's Hispanic, he's around
yeah,
5'9", and he
160.
his DNA was, found at both crime scenes, and he has a connection to California and to Maryland. So
Yeah,
I think those parameters are going to help catch this guy better than a lot of as soon as they had that connection between Maryland and California, I think it narrowed that suspect list considerably. But if he found her on a dating site, she easily could have been like, "Oh yeah, I live in Bel Air, and yeah, I work out here, or this is
yeah,
the area I hang out in." It
yeah.
might have been completely innocent for her, and he
I
might
don't.
have preyed on that.
Yeah, the thing is that, like, I wonder if anyone's going to come forward from the Mont and Paw Trail now that they've seen this
And say
and
they saw
say
him.
that they saw him.
Right. Like I said, I'm guaranteed they talked to those 5 witnesses.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm just amazed. If so, you would think that a sketch would have come out from that, though, if they did. But there's a
Yeah.
couple things that are a little bit strange here.
Right. Well, and one might. They just got that information last night. So,
Yeah.
if they talk to those 5 individuals today, they might have worked up a sketch today. We don't know. They wanted to get this video out there, and they probably
Um.
clearly wanted to course correct the fact that there, potentially
Yeah.
could be a threat to the community.
See-through. Why don't you just Google it? Just Google where the 77th Division in LA is. Google's your best friend. Actually, Google Maps. Yeah.
Shelly says every time that door opens, she thinks someone else is coming out. I know, right? Isn't it funny when you watch? It's like when you watch a video on repeat, you always expect something different to happen.
Yeah. Hey, I know. It just really sucks that he doesn't have any tattoo. But you know what's so strange is that what I don't understand, if this is a cell phone, why is it shining so brightly?
Right.
Like, meaning on the outside of his clothes. Like, I can understand it if
My phone's that bright.
huh?
I've got my brightness is all the way up, and if I stick my phone in my pocket and it lights up,
Yeah,
Maybe his
but
screen lock background could be white. So
hold on. Yeah, mine is always, but it's just the thing is that it's a finger pocket. I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Right there. Okay, hold on.
yeah,
Right, right
there.
there. Oh shit, missed it again.
No, I saw it.
Yeah,
There,
right
there.
there. Like that's quite a hell of a lot of bright light to be shining out of somebody's pocket without their
Yeah,
phone hanging out. You would think.
yeah, but you're looking at you're looking at a camera. You're looking at camera footage with a light above him. With the porch light on, and the only light, your complete blackness besides the house across the street with those two lights on. Of course, the light in his pocket is going to illuminate brighter than it would normally. Have you ever been
Well,
outside, like
maybe.
when you're fishing or you're camping, and your phone lights up? It's the brightest light you've ever seen.
Well, let's just take a look there again. Let's go back.
I mean, that is 100% his phone in his pocket.
See, it could be his car. Could be car keys.
That is his phone in his pocket, illuminated.
But look where it's sitting.
If
Look
you
how
have an
it's
iPhone
sitting.
and you have joggers on, that's exactly where your phone
And
would
my
sit.
phone ain't. No, I can't believe that. Like in this position for
Uh,
me, his hands right there. I think that it's a fob.
a
I think
fob.
it's a fob. Yep,
Look at the size of that compared to his fingers and hand.
a fob. That's no different than our fob. My fob. Our fob for Ford. It's a decent sized fob. Like it's a good sized fob. I'm gonna
What?
call it a
But,
fob.
but what fob is iridescent? That is a
It's
phone. That is a phone screen.
I don't I can't I still can't buy that it's a phone screen. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? No, but the thing
I mean,
is that
I'm not. I mean, I'm not. I mean, like I said, everyone can think what they want. No one's gonna change my mind. That's a phone. Even the way
well,
it's jutting out from his leg. That's
yeah,
it. That's to me. That's what an iPhone looks like sticking out of my pocket.
but look how it's. But do you see what I'm saying? It's not sticking out of his pocket.
It
This thing
is.
is literally no, it's not. It's literally his hand is here. So, meaning it could be like, meaning Adam, if you looked at it this way, right? As if the phone, like maybe for instance, his phone is not just a typical iPhone. Maybe it's like a iPhone 10,
But
like the bigger size version.
yeah, but we're looking at him in motion as well. Like his hand is in the picture in
No,
the still shot we're looking at. His hand is his hand is moving. He's
oh,
walking. His arms are swinging a little bit, and
right.
his fingers are in front of what we're looking at right now, and
I
and
know.
that looks exactly what my phone when I walk in joggers. That's exactly what a phone sticking in my pocket looks like at night. And even the look at the way his pant line is angled because of
Well,
the weight of the phone in that pocket.
right. And that would lead me to believe that this is a bigger phone than just a typical iPhone like I got.
Right. Well, I mean, it could be an iPhone Pro. What a Pro Max or whatever.
Yeah,
But
the
even
bigger
if you
size
look,
one.
even if you look at it, like look at his pant line, like the waistline. When I wear joggers and I walk, I'm thin like he is, and if I have my phone in my right hand side pocket, which is where I normally would put it because I'm right handed, um, my pants sag to the right, just like his are in this picture.
No, I get
His
you, but
whole waistline
I
is
can't,
going
I
down.
can't, I can't see it. And it could be. Like I'm not saying it's not. It's probably the most probability that it looks like a phone over anything, but it looks like it's a bigger phone than just a regular little one. Because typically a little phone fits in your pocket nicely. This one looks like it's even more so hanging out.
Right.
It looks like it's a bigger phone than just like my iPhone 8 here. Like, just size wise.
Yeah.
Now in saying that, uh, where's my little color levels there? Oh no, because I got to put it back to take off that. Let's see if there's anything we can do.
Now it looks like someone photoshopped a cigarette in his fingers.
Right? I know, because it's just because of the lighting. That's just going to get worse. You know. I mean, I see black. It's not like I don't see the shape of the phone if it's a phone, which is
Like
probably the most
even look at the
likely.
width of it. It's angled at like 45 degrees to the right.
Well, I'm telling you right now, if my husband was holding, even though the one thing I'll give you the credit for on this one is the fact that it's freaking a big ass, what looks like a white screen lit up, because typically fobs are black and they wouldn't light up like this, even when a light's on it. You know?
Yeah, he definitely has a chain around his neck, guys. Yeah, we
Oh yeah,
said that earlier.
he definitely has a
You can
chain
as soon
around.
as he walks out the door, you can see the chain. That's clear as day.
Yeah, hold on, we'll show it in a sec. It's just on freeze frame. Look at those freaking nostrils. Freaking could land a jetliner in those suckers.
And those dimples above his waistline.
Yeah, that's what you're looking at. Okay, there you go. There, you guys see the necklace there, right?
Yeah.
On the back of his neck. You guys can see that.
It's a single chain.
Is there more? Come on, is there more? Oh, you know, I don't even know that I want to call those joggers as much as I would call. I don't know. I'm torn between joggers and those very light fleecy type pants.
Well, I mean, they're still joggers either way. I mean,
Yeah, they're still joggers.
Yeah. They're tapered. They're tapered at the ankles enough that I would call them joggers. I would like,
Okay.
and knowing the brand of them would probably tell us how deep the pockets are.
Yeah.
But
how deep are your pockets?
When I first watched this, I thought he was wearing jeans, but then when I watched it again and I saw the width of the
okay, it's not a fob.
The width of the waistband, I was like, no, those are an elastic jogger.
Yeah. It's not a fob because his hand would still be holding them, obviously, though.
Yeah.
No.
And you can see, and you can definitely see in the picture you have on screen right now, that he's wearing socks and not shoes because of the way his foot is so angled.
Here's a little bit better. It's so crazy how it looks.
I'm sorry, it's a phone.
You can keep saying it's a phone.
It is. Got it.
Survey says. But isn't it funny how in this picture now, it's like it looks black in the middle and white around it? You know, it's no different than Delphi. Depending on what moment you stop it at, can give you a whole different effing look. Remember, like with that stupid thing on Richard Allen's hip, that freaking thing drove me freaking crazy.
Any guy that is right-handed that does not have a back pocket, when they put their phone in their pocket, they put it in the right pocket.
Did you answer this one? Question is, why did he commit the fatal attack? He could have easily committed the SA. Well, again, it depends if there was a struggle, and because it's like you have a fit woman, that's probably pretty feisty because she's pretty, in shape there.
And maybe things got out of control. I mean,
right.
If he used a rock, I would think it tends to leads me to think that he didn't plan on unaliving her,
right.
But that he reacted to something that happened in the moment. I mean, it was what, 6 o'clock on a Saturday. You know,
yeah.
there were potentially other people around.
Yeah, I don't know that this was.
I think things probably got out of hand, and he lost control.
And he picked up a rock, smacked it.
Right. Granted, from everything we've read, it sounds like there was a severe amount of overkill in it. But
yeah, well, probably
that could just play into the amount of rage that he has.
Well, and I can see it too. Like in my head right now, I can kind of picture like a rock, and he has to keep smacking her with it to make sure that she he's freaking dead. And I'm sure that that rock could do a lot of damage very fast to someone's face, you know,
Right.
because I mean,
And
he could have knocked her out the first time, but you got to make sure that that person now is dead once you've done that.
right.
Like, you know what I mean?
To me, when you go to that kind of aggression on someone's face, you know, it's one either targeted or it's panic
He does have a
because
swimmer's body.
because you want to silence that person. So
Yeah.
a good couple of people in chat are asking about the weight of the person being 160.
Yeah, he
Um,
is.
in my opinion, you know, like when I first watched it,
Yeah.
his size looks bigger to me, but like I sent Sunny a picture. It's a non-scientific experiment, but in the video you can't see it in the exact thing that was on camera right now. But you know, every door frame has three hinge, whatever you call them,
Yeah.
door frame
3.
hinges.
Yeah.
And I'm 6 foot tall exactly, and so I measured myself compared to the height of my front door's highest door frame hinge, and I'm right in the middle of it. Whereas when I watch this video, he never rises above, I'd say, an inch or two below it, and he's in front of the door hinge. So
I
if
know.
I'm judging the fact that he's 5'9", I think he's 160, and that's muscle. It's not,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's not fat.
And no offense, but typically Hispanics aren't known for being over 6 foot tall type. You know, there is
Right.
obviously, but meaning
I mean,
it's kind of
I weigh
like,
I weigh 160, but I'm 6 foot
yeah,
tall, so
yeah.
I'm taller and thinner, whereas
Hey,
he's
Lacey.
shorter than me but more muscular.
Yeah. I'm sure if the average Hispanic would probably fall into the category of 5'6" to 5'9". I bet you the average would be there. Just like Chinese are probably going to fall into the 5'4" to 5'8", the average size, you know. So again, I mean, he just looked, it's deceptive because I thought too when I first saw it, but then you always have to use the door as a reference. But I thought too, I was like, hey, this guy looks like he's about freaking 6 foot something.
Yeah, but he's not.
Originally.
And remember, like a doorbell camera is going to be lower, so we're looking at it from a lower angle as well. So of course he looks taller already.
Well, I think that if he had a knife, he would have used the knife. And to be honest, if he had a
Lacey
knife,
says, how do they mark a DNA without a name for the DNA? Lacey, as long as they have a certain amount of identifying markers, they can enter any DNA strand into the CODIS system. Not necessarily, you know, even if they don't have a name to connect to it. Their hope is that someday, exactly what happened here, is that it'll connect to something else. Whereas in this instance, it connected to another crime, but they don't have a name to attach to that yet. So it basically just means that this person's not been arrested for a violent offense in the past. But
yeah. You
don't have to have a name to be entered into CODIS.
Right, exactly. It's because next time you do something and you know they do catch you, busted.
Yeah, their hope
Yeah.
is that, you know, they enter all of the DNA strands that meet the criteria, so that in hope of one day they will get a match.
Yeah. I'm not seeing anything new. Like, I'm not seeing anything new here, unless the true crime sleuth has something somewhere. You know, there's somebody that's going to be. Well, no, I don't think that. Any true crime sleuth. I don't feel, unless a neighbor, you know, unless a neighbor around here or somebody puts out information that leads someone else to find it. I don't think really that there's anything out there for us to try to find right now.
Someone that knows the girl this happened
Yeah.
to is going
Yeah.
to post on social media.
Somebody's going to post.
I guarantee you, one of this girl's friends is going to
What
post on
neighbors just
TikTok.
from a
On
house?
TikTok. Oh,
Yeah.
that's my friend. That's so and so's house.
Yeah.
this happened, blah blah blah. I guarantee you, like tomorrow at some point, we'll probably start to see something about, I knew this
Yeah.
girl,
Mhm. Yep.
whether it's true or not, but
All I,
that's my sense of what we'll start to see
yeah.
first.
Well, I just hope with this excessive attention to the case, like and this is exactly what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about coming together, sitting there, splashing the internet with the information, as well as the police, everyone working. Like I said, um, I'm not into the whole her boyfriends did it and this stuff did it. There was nothing there that I wanted even to talk about any of them. Besides Richard Tobin because he'd come out, but it was just things that he had said that I was referencing. I didn't think he was the suspect, to be honest with you. I just didn't feel it. Granted, he said, I just didn't feel it. You know how you just sometimes go, yeah, it's the boyfriend, but I felt like because he came out right away and stuff like that, it was kind of like I
Right.
got nothing to hide. They got my phone. They got this. So I just
Yeah,
didn't.
you and I were in agreement about that right away. And then
Yeah,
when I heard the sheriff talking about him, even though he didn't say
yeah,
he's cleared, I felt immediately like, oh, they're not suspecting him. So, and
yeah,
Broom said, but of course, LALE must have known that address. That's where they
yeah,
got the campus from. Yeah, and
yeah,
even
yeah,
the sheriff said that if media wanted to find out what area of Los Angeles that was in, they could contact the Los Angeles Police Department, which publicly the Los Angeles Police Department hasn't released that yet, but that's
yeah,
their information to release.
yeah. Um, you know what though? We're gonna get heading off. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. My husband's gonna need to go to bed. He's really tired. It's
It's our
Friday
third live.
tomorrow. This is our third live. You guys, just do us a favor. If you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button. Um, and other than that, thank you guys so much. And hopefully, with this vast amount of, regardless, with this information being spread across the nation, that someone hopefully is going to say, I know that person. I know, whether it's a barber, whether it's a whatever, doesn't matter, whether it's someone in Maryland, in that area. I think it's
Maryland.
going to come from Maryland. I think it's probably going to come from a dating site. That to me would, like, meaning the dating
Right.
site seems like the most logical to me personally. I mean, if it wasn't a gym, um, then because
Right.
those are the two highest possibilities to
Well,
me.
think about it in Idaho, how long it took for them to get those warrants back for Tinder and
Yeah,
Bumble. That's not something that's going to happen in 12 days like it's been. They have to subpoena those companies typically for the data. I think Rachel's phone probably holds a wealth of knowledge. Um,
yeah,
I'm speculating, of course, but um, I would
well,
expect that if it is a dating site connection,
right,
um, they don't have that information all back yet.
yeah,
They might
right,
they might know
and
preliminarily or preliminarily,
yeah,
but they wouldn't. I doubt they would have anything concrete yet, and it might have been something innocent on her part where she didn't even pay attention to it, and she might have made a one comment to someone on Tinder that she liked to hike in this area, and someone might have picked up on that. You never know.
if again, I think that within this week here, the person's going to get caught.
Yeah.
The thing about dating sites in a lot of ways too is that they're hiding behind a picture typically, and they're hiding behind, like, meaning if somebody's like this person here, he ain't, like, he is a dumbass because he's leaving his DNA every which way. But I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna. I think that that there's someone's going to be arrested right quick here. That's how I
Right.
feel.
And and she just they just made that Facebook official, with her and Richard on August 1st. She was the victim of the homicide on August 5th. So she might have had a conversation on Tinder or Bumble or something like that, a week before that, and she might have deleted the app. So as police are even, looking through her phone, they might have to go into the forensic, they might have to, dig deeper even to find the information because, maybe she deleted her account once she got into the relationship, which
Yeah.
of course that's still going to be there, but
Right.
they're going to have to work a little harder to get to it.
Yeah. I'm going to give this a week, if not like even less,
Yeah.
perhaps. I'm just
This-
going to.
This guy
Give us
is
one
not
week.
going to be this guy's not going to be free for,
Long.
we're not going to be wondering who this guy is
Yeah.
at Christmas,
No.
in my opinion.
I think that they're going to have a name very fast, even if they don't have him in custody.
Yeah.
I
agree.
mean, yeah. You remember the Tinder killer? Yeah. Well, do you remember the Snapchat killer? Yeah. A lot of crazies out there, sadly. But anyways, we're gonna get going. Tomorrow's Friday. We'll be doing a live anyway. So if
Sorry.
there's any, what are you laughing at?
Ben said this guy's probably in Indiana, and I said no, he probably just got pulled over for speeding on his way to Maryland.
He's probably pulled over.
He was probably following a car too closely. He got pulled over in Indiana, but they let him go.
Tomorrow might be a busy day depending on what happens because the Koberger pretrial thing or hearing is tomorrow. So there's going to be some different things going on. Anyways, us, YOLO. We'll see it. We'll do what we do because we do it whenever we do it. However we do it.
We'll definitely see you tomorrow night.
Yeah.
If not before then.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Bless. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And again, please give the video a like and a share if you could. Make sure that you guys plaster all over your social media. The video from the Hartford Police Facebook, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just share. Okay.
Please.
As soon as somebody
and remember, Rachel had 5 kids, and those 5 kids are the ones that I'm thinking of the most because those 5 kids, long after we stop talking about this case, those 5 kids are going to have to think about this for the rest of their lives. So,
absolutely. Okay, friends, you have a good night. Lacey, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to take your lover away from you. He's going now. Ready? Are you ready to ditch someone? Are you ready to ditch him?
Sonny, don't tell Lacey that I almost bought you flowers.
I know, you little sleut. He did. And he goes, he sent me a picture of flowers, Lacey, and he said, which one do you want? And I'm like, all of them. Not to be selfish, but all of them. Yeah, it went something like that. I'm pretty sure, like I can feel right now that in my brain that Ben's sitting there, he's shooting me hearts, and I can just feel him projecting into my head right now. Yeah, I feel that happening too. I feel like Mustang is doing that as well, though. So I don't know that that's special, to be honest with you. Anyways, you guys take care. Look at the Lacey down there flirting away. XOXO shit.
Love you,
all
Lacey.
right. Don't make me show you the flowers. I'll show you the flowers, Lacey. Take care, guys. Have a good one. This is Sunny Justice and Aspen Connor from It's a Crime and Shame, wishing you all a good night.